Hello, this is Roger
Hello.
Bowie. This is music.net.nz, and this is my series. It's a rap, and we've got Harry Hodgson from
Hodgman.
from the Auckland and Dunedin and Melbourne and Ranfurly and and now Wellington. And
And Wellington.
he's a piano player. So don't shoot him. He's only a piano player. And and why is that, Harry? Tell us about that.
Why am I a piano player?
Yeah.
I uh I was in high school, I remember, and my deans I had a big clash with my history teacher, and I couldn't. I was not an academic kid. I didn't like it at all. And they were like, okay, well, you can either go into, I think it was dance or music. And I was like, well, there's no way I'm gonna be a dancer. I'm not that energetic. And then got into, this was at Hutt Valley High in Lower Hutt, and the music department was amazing. Like, usually, New Zealand schools are very focused on the sports or actual academia, but I managed to get into a music department that was incredibly supportive, and they seemed to pick up that I had some passion or some sort of skill or something. And over the summer, they gave me just a little keyboard from their class to take home, and I spent the whole summer just learning how to read sheet music and play all the songs that I knew on piano and everything. And then within a year, I got my first piano, and it just became an absolute obsession.
You were only 14, right?
I was, yeah, yeah.
I mean, sorry, you were already 14. I mean, most most prodigies start a bit younger than that.
Yeah, well, I didn't have Chinese parents, unfortunately. um, yeah, no, I was a renegade of a 14-year-old. Like, I was terrible. I listened to like death metal music, and I was just really argumentative with teachers, and I was just really like an angsty, very stereotypical teenager. And then the piano just spun everything around.
So the piano was therapeutic and soporific.
Yeah, yeah, it was like some people, I guess, finding religion. That piano just became a sort of church.
And when did you sort of make the decision that you would stay solo rather than join a band? Because it's a hard, well, you could tell me I may be wrong, but it seemed to me that to be a harder road.
Yeah, no, I feel the opposite. I studied at Polytech for about 6 months. It was a very short 6 month course that I did. Uh, Instead of finishing high school, I went to do it was a what was it, certificate of foundation music at Whirirea in Porirua, and we had to be in a band for that one. So there was me, and I would arpeggiate all the chords and everything on piano, and then they would tell me, no, no, you're just supposed to like sort of
So,
ska music, and I was like, no, 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 I'm gonna
you,
liberate you the hell out of it.
you, you don't look like a vampire.
No, definitely not. So yeah, that was the only time I think I've ever played in a band. I've played arrangements for other people, so I've played piano for other singers, and I've done duets and things like that. But I can't fit into a band. I can't picture it. I'm no Ben Folds, you know.
Right, right. No session work.
No, none. All just solo. I'd even classify myself as just like a bedroom musician at this point. With
but you're
COVID, I
still
haven't been able to do any gigs.
but you're still young, so you might find that an option at some point to help someone out or make some money. Or anyway,
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
you've had a few adventures. I see on the road. You want to tell us about your big adventure?
Yeah. I remember I was working in a pizza place in Dunedin, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I just working week to week making bloody pizzas? And I booked a one-way ticket to Japan, and then as I was on my way to Japan, I would book a gig somewhere around Tokyo, and I was like, okay, well, I'm trying to get to Vienna because I was obsessed with Beethoven, and I was like, okay, I need to get to Vienna before I die. That's the main thing. And I got to Japan, then booked a ticket to Paris, and then from there on, I just kind of improvised my way around Europe. And I'd be like on the bus, like a 16-hour bus ride to another city, and I'd be frantically trying to book gigs, trying to find cafes with pianos, and also frantically trying to find somewhere to sleep. And half the time I'd end up doing a gig, and then at the end of the gig, I'll be like, hey, by the way, does anyone have a spare bed, for a little piano player? and that lasted. I think I did that for about 2 months in winter, 2016, and then came back to Dunedin. And my friend Adrian Mann, who built the world's longest piano, is based in Dunedin, and we used to do all sorts of piano things. We took pianos around Central Otago. We played on the Crown Ranges, Queenstown, Wanaka. Yeah, heaps. Like just
I see you.
get a piano anywhere.
I see you lived in Baldwin Street. Was that a metaphor?
No, that was very literal. That was a very literal uphill struggle every day. Yeah, that was magnificent. Have a piano at the top of Baldwin Street, you know, bunch
Yeah,
of tourists peering in the windows every day.
I drove up there in December. We for the first time forever, for a
It's
long,
steeper
long
than it
time.
looks.
No,
It's steeper than it looks. Once you get up there, you're like,
it's scary steep.
is the car gonna handle it?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a point where the path, as a pedestrian, the path turns to stairs because you can't
Yeah.
walk that degree.
So you didn't play the piano down Baldwin Street.
Not down. Like we did put a piano at the top of the street once, and we played up there. But you know, I was terrified the whole thing would just roll away. Hey, kill someone.
So there's a couple of great traditions there. There's the tradition, of course, of the OE and just getting on a plane and doing it and picking up the money. I mean, that's the stuff we did in the 70s, right? So on the one hand, that's nice to see that guys like you are still doing that. But there's also the itinerant musician, the tradition of the itinerant musician, and a busker. And busking with a piano was really interesting to me.
Yeah, there was a guy. I remember I was in high school. My parents went to Queenstown for a holiday, and they came back with a CD of a guy called Matthias, and he was a full-time busker in Queenstown. He used to push his piano. I think he used to store it down an alleyway or something, then every day push it out by the lake and just play every day. And
I think I remember him.
Yeah, I think he had dreads. He must have been Swedish or something like that. Yeah. The whole busking idea, suddenly became real. Like you can busk with a piano, and I don't play digital pianos, which is a little bit pretentious, but I love this instrument specifically. So if I did busk, it was going to be with an acoustic piano, and I did manage to find. It was called an Eavesstaff mini piano, which was somehow even smaller than this one, and I managed to tune it myself, which is the only time I've ever tuned the piano terribly. And yeah, I managed to push it around Dunedin. It was during like cruise ship season, so we used to go and play in front of the train station, and they would give us every type of denomination possible. Yeah, it was wild. It was heavy. That piano was heavy. I dropped it once, and I couldn't pick it up. I had to get someone to help me pick it up.
And you produce songbooks. So there's an old worldliness about you. That's kind of cute. Not old fashioned, but it's kind of cute. Tell us about your songbooks.
The songbooks. Actually, I have some here. This is my Sadness and Horror, one I made about a year ago. It took me 3 years, and it's not many people make songbooks for piano and voice these days. And when I was learning how to play piano, I'd be online trying to find all these obscure songs. Harry Nilsson and Leonard Cohen, like all these piano transcriptions of songs, and found this music website. It was like a community basically that had sheet music, and you would share sheet music, which I'm pretty sure is illegal, but it was a community. So I got into reading music, and I kind of understood notation and everything. And whenever I would hear of other musicians, like significant musicians going on tour, and musicians like myself would go see them, and they'd give them like a demo tape or CD or something like that, just to make that connection, try and get their music out there. And I was never good at recording music. My audio engineering skills have been pretty trashy, but I decided, I can notate music, and I do graphic design. I could probably design something visually interesting, even if someone can't read music or play piano. There's still something extremely beautiful about these books, and like the quality of the print is also super important. Like there's no pixels or anything, and the detail I've been drawing in my cover designs has gotten more and more intense every time I've done one. Um, yeah, so now I do digital copies on my website, and I would do printed versions, but I printed this one last year. I printed two. It cost me $170 to print 2 books.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Apparently, COVID has made a paper shortage.
Well, it's like vinyl. You can't get vinyl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a shortage of the plastic. That's yeah. So all sorts of we can blame COVID for all the evils of the world.
I'd love to do cassette tapes, because apparently, those are quite popular these days. I saw a statistic that they sell more cassettes in the last 10 years than they ever did, like in the 90s or whenever the cassettes were at their height.
Yes,
They did one cassette.
I haven't seen a cassette player
No, neither. I haven't even seen a CD player lately.
for a long while. I mean, I do own one, but I don't. It's not wired up anymore. Mm.
Yeah, they're quite a novelty. They're sort of like the songbooks of recorded mediums, cassette tapes.
So what's the plan, Harry? What's the pathway to global domination?
For me, I'm planning on recording some of my songs here at home. There's a Perfume Genius album called "Put Your Back Into It" and "Learning," his first two albums, which are recorded at home, and the piano's out of tune, and you can hear all these other sounds, the creaking and distortion, and all these sort of natural sounds that I've always been trying to avoid. But now I'm like, okay, well, actually, my piano's out of tune, and I can do somewhat of a recording job at home. So I'd like to make an album out of that and tour. My dream, because I ride a motorbike, my dream is to tour the world and ride my bike gig to gig. That would be amazing.
Can you hitch up your piano behind the bike?
I've thought about it.
I mean, that would be a walking billboard, right? I mean, a traveling billboard.
That would be the ultimate bus as well, just parking up and having to play.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's possible.
So you're gonna play us a little tune in a minute, yeah?
Yeah, I can play you one of my songs.
So you write all your own songs, or do you play other people's music as well?
I do mine. Some songs, I've written some cover songs. I did one of Girls Just Want to Have Fun, which is annoyingly my most viewed video on YouTube. It's annoying when it's not one of yours, but it's completely different from the original, which I liked it. I like to take other songs and just kind of redress them completely, change the tempo, change the mood.
And who are the people that have influenced you?
Oh, it's pretty specific per song. So, like, there'll be songs where I'm completely sort of mimicking like Randy Newman or Andy Sharp or Marlon Williams. I was obsessed with Liberace during high school, so I got quite into the whole flourishes of little piano motifs. Rufus Wainwright, also a massive influence. He was my first sort of obsession. There's a British guy called Ed Harcourt, who's also
Ed Harcourt,
singer-songwriter.
I know Ed Harcourt.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible, like very humble man.
Yeah.
Surprisingly not very well known, but he has all these albums of incredible music.
Yes, he is very good.
Put together, well written. And yeah, so I would love to be like his opening act or something. Like that'd be a good combo.
What about dear old Elton?
No, never been a fan.
You've never been a fan?
I mean, I appreciate some of his songs. I know some of his songs. But I've never played them. I have this weird avoidance for expectation of what people associate with piano,
I saw Elton John live in Hong Kong a few years back, and he was solo, and I wouldn't have gone, but I was given a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And he played his big white, I was probably a Steinway, I don't know.
Yeah, he's a Yamaha artist.
Yeah, was he? Okay. He played this big white piano, and it sounded like he had a whole orchestra inside.
My God.
And it was just amazing. And whereas I liked his earlier stuff. Yeah, I was converted at that point. It's amazing what I don't know. Do people put gear into pianos, or is it just the resonance of the string?
some do. I think Elton John's is a I think it's a digital piano. So there might be some. I know he's played his song Daniel. You know Daniel?
Yes.
He's played that one, and it kind of comes out sounding like a Fender Rhodes or
Right.
a Wurlitzer or something.
Right.
So I think there is some.
So some software and stuff going on in there.
Yeah, but I'm confident it's acoustic piano. But yeah, there is something. You know,
Yeah.
he's the biggest piano player in the world, so he could do whatever he wants to a piano.
Oh, well, enough about Reggie Dwight. Let's go back to Harry Hodgman. And what are you going to play us, mate?
I'm going to play you a little instrumental mine called Puzzle, which is a very, very simple piece to me. But it's always been like a crowd's favorite whenever I play it live. People seem to love it.
Let's have a go. I'm going to shut myself out, so just see you.
Okay. Okay, here we go. This is Puzzle.
Solo for me. Solo. That's awesome. Did you play that on the Ko-Fi piano?
I did. Yeah. That piano's amazing.
It is amazing.
I'm releasing an EP of songs that I recorded on that piano on November 1st that'll be coming out, and it's called Puzzle.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, you better let us hear that.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised no one's made any recordings on that piano before.
You'll let Lisa know. We might be able to do something on the website for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
It comes out November 1st, called Puzzle.
Right. We better get cracking on it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Hey man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And obviously you want to be touring as soon as you can.
I'm going back to Melbourne in February, so
Oh, you are?
I'll be booking gigs and trying to get my way around the world again.
Okay. Well, let me know. There's a few people in Melbourne. I can let them know that this is someone they should go and see. And but you won't get to Auckland before that, unlikely, yeah?
Maybe. My bike's in the shop at the moment, so I'm hoping to do some traveling over the summer, so possibly.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Harry Hodgman. You should listen to him. He's got a new EP out on November the 1st. And if you go on his website, there's an enormous amount of a lot of the stuff we've talked about there, but plus a whole bunch of videos of him playing, so you can get a really good look. And on that note, we'll wrap it all up.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And thank you. Cheers.
Thank you so much.